All right, welcome back to Pucks in Deep, episode 190. We're here at Lee and Penny Anderson Arena in the St. Thomas locker room. Joining me today is Ryder Donovan, former Tommy. Ryder, how are we doing?
Not too bad, brother. Great to be back. Well, I haven't been in here as a player, but coming back as an alumni is pretty special. Getting the tour of everything, but just being back on campus is it's pretty cool.
I mean, what is this room like to you right now? I mean, just everything you went through.
Yeah, jealousy.
The grit to this.
Yeah,
talk about the job, I guess, from the outside, for your perspective, like, that Rico's done his staff to make this thing possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. Like we were talking about it a little bit offset, like just building it from the ground up essentially, and how many guys came through here, even when the D3 program was really strong, like so many like powerful alumni and like really important people that are still so devoted to the school and just the community, and now seeing it all come together and just being at the game on Saturday against Augustana, it was pretty cool to see. And yeah, I'm a little jealous of these guys. They get to come to this every day and go out there and experience that, because it's top notch.
Yeah. And we'll get into that later in the pod with the boys. Cole Miller joining us and Charlie Schoen. I want to go over, we touch on the playoffs, their playoff run so far to get to this point, to go to the championship, but there's a lot that's happening in the rest of college hockey as well. This week we have the Atlantic, Sacred Heart going to Bentley, and then we have an ECAC, Clarkson, Dartmouth, Princeton versus Cornell, all at Lake Placid, and then Hockey East is Merrimack at UMass, BC at UConn, and then Ohio State, Michigan, and then Saturday is Minnesota, Duluth at Denver. We'll see the championship. So a lot of games going on, but you being a former player, like, are you focused on, especially with MPI now, are you focused on what's happening around the league, going into these playoffs?
Yeah, I feel kind of weird. I've never been more active on Elite Prospects and College Hockey News app. It's probably my most used apps on my phone. Just keeping up with guys in different games. No, it's super cool, honestly, because obviously just having ties to the Tommies here and even the Badgers, where I was before, and even UMD, like being a Duluth kid, I have my certain teams that I'm kind of rooting for, and obviously then you have a bunch of different guys all spanned out across the country, doing really cool things right now. So it's I don't think there's ever been a better time for hockey in general, and especially college hockey. I just feel like everything's just getting more attention, as it should. And obviously, you guys are a big part of that with the media side of stuff. So.
It's hard to follow, isn't it? There's a lot of games. It's basically 2 NHLs.
Yeah.
There's 63 teams.
There's a lot of content out there. You can go down the wormhole on Twitter pretty quick. But,
it's tough to follow everyone and get an in-depth look, but we definitely get that today with the boys joining the podcast. But obviously, we're picking the Tommies in that game. We gotta write the boys in their locker room right now.
Yeah.
Let's go around the league. They'll make a pick for the other conferences. Sacred Heart, Bentley. Who you taking?
I'll go. I don't know a whole lot about that matchup, but I'll say Sacred Heart. I followed them a little bit in like the last week or so with playoffs. And again, just their jerseys and the arena.
They got Felix Trudeau up for Hobie too. So I'm gonna go Sacred Heart as well. Let's go out of the ECAC, Clarkson, Dartmouth, Cornell are the favorites, but Clarkson or Princeton. Then we'll play those guys as well.
Yeah, I gotta go probably Clarkson. I feel like
upset. They're hot right now.
Is that an upset technically?
Yeah, it would be. They're 34th in MPI right now. Okay. So they'll play Dartmouth game 1, and then Princeton will play Cornell at Lake Placid game 1. So Dartmouth and Cornell are the favorites. But
yeah, okay.
I like the Clarkson pick.
They just got a winning pedigree a bit. I feel like over the last couple of years they've always pumped out good players, and they're always up there. Even like you said, like their MPI ranking might not be super high, but they're still playing for something. So can't count them out.
I'm gonna go Princeton. A lot of upsets. Cornell and Dartmouth are in the tournament, so we're going 2 upsets here.
Yep.
Out of Hockey East, Merrimack, and UMass. UMass is favored, and then BC at UConn. UConn's favored. Who's coming out of that and win the championship?
I'm gonna go UMass.
Okay. Yep.
I feel like they got a good squad. They're good every year. They got a pretty hard coach out there, so I feel like they play a playoff style hockey.
They've been in the tournament a lot lately too.
So they're kind of riding that momentum a little bit. And then who does BC got?
They got UConn, and UConn's 15th in MPA. Yeah. UMass is 13th, and then BC's 18th. Merrimack's 24th, so they need to win. So 2 of those teams, they all basically need to win this thing to get in. To be safe, at least.
I go.
I think we got to help out the Tommies here, so we need Merrimack to win that UMass game. I think. We want one of those teams making. We don't want 2.
A full sweep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can change it. I'll go with Merrimack.
All right, we're going 4 years.
They got cool jerseys too.
They do.
I like that.
Ohio State, Michigan. That's going to be a big football game, but it's hockey.
Yeah.
Ohio State's at Michigan this week. Who you got? They just beat Michigan State.
Yeah, Ohio State's hot. they're a sneaky team because it's just
and they crushed Wisconsin too. First round too. Sorry about that, but they're hot right now.
The Badgers still got a shot. Maybe. Who knows?
They do.
I think Michigan.
They're number
I
one
don't
in the
necessarily
country.
want them to win, but they, I mean, they're a powerhouse and they're just loaded with talent. So you got to think that, I mean, Ohio State will put up a good test, I feel like, just with the role they've been on, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they pulled something off.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with them.
Going with the Buckeyes.
They love being on their ducks, talking to Burnside. That's his thing. So that's the team's thing. And
Yeah.
they got to win to get in. Michigan's the number 1 seed in the tournament, guaranteed already. So
yeah, true.
That could change things.
Yeah.
Before we get the players on here, we got, if you're listening to this episode now, it's out now, but the Hobie top 10 finalists are out. Ethan Wittenbach, Max Plant, Eric Polkamp, Hayden Stavroff, TJ Hughes, Trey Augustine, Felix Trudeau, Charlie Strammel, James Higgins, and Gavin McKenna. Who out of those top 10 are you taking top 3 as a finalist right now?
Yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we were throwing names, and now we got the top 10.
Yeah.
Now they're out.
I'm really happy that Strammel's on there.
Yeah.
We talked about it before. I think he's just kind of a sneaky dark horse in that group of players.
Upperclassmen too, senior.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it.
It means it means a little more. And just the way that he's kind of not revived his career, but just like really taken off since leaving Wisconsin. What Michigan State's been able to do, obviously in the Big Ten, is insane. But he's been like very integral part of that as a top guy. So I like Strams in that top 3. I would really like that. I think Plant, obviously, he's been able. Both of the Plants have been able to
him
do
and
it.
Zam, they should both be up for Hobie.
Yeah.
They could be very easily.
Can't take both of them, I guess. But no, they've been unreal there. So I like Plant a lot. And then I got to go
Rittenbach's
with
favorite right now, probably with 58 points on the season. But I mean, Polkamp's out there. Stavroff has 27 tucks on the year. TJ Hughes, a lot of points
there's
as
some
well,
good
but he's
points up
stacked
there.
team, so I don't know.
Yeah, I got to go McKenna. I mean, I know that's not exactly the most safe bet maybe with some stuff that's gone on, but I don't know. I'm a fan of him. I think he's a pretty fun player. And with the overall
the attention he's brought to college hockey too,
Yeah.
that does mean something.
Yeah, I mean the hype that
and he's putting up
brought.
the points now too. I mean, he had an 8-point game like 3 weeks ago, so
Yeah.
that's not bad.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll ride with him. Free Gavin, but he's doing.
I mean,
cool
it's
things.
tough. I like Trammell too, or TJ as being seniors, but I mean, Wittenbach, what he's done for Quinnipiac to put him in that spot this year has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, as a freshman too, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I actually forgot he was a freshman.
Yeah, it's nasty. I mean, Plant definitely deserves it too. I mean, both the Plant brothers, Shagabay too. I mean, that line's been crazy for them this year. Stavroff definitely deserves it. 27 talks, or maybe 28 now.
Yeah.
But I think a guy that's being overlooked is Polkamp right now at Denver, and being a defenseman in this group, and how many points I think he's like 35 points on the season too.
Yeah.
So now Denver's in the NCAA championship. I think Polkamp wins it, but I think it's Plant and Strammel joining in the top 3.
Yeah,
for real. But we'll see.
The Minnesota sweep there.
Yeah,
Rainer boy leading it or leading it.
Yeah, no, that's we'll see what happens, but bigger things ahead. Obviously, we're on this podcast preparing for the championship game with the CCHA. St. Thomas at Minnesota State this Friday night. So, any notes for the boys before we get them on? What do you expect out of this game?
I mean, you got to expect it's going to be a war going down there. Obviously, it's a pretty hostile environment, but one of the most fun places I thought to play in the CCHA, probably right up there with Houghton. Yeah, it's going to be bumping in there. Mankato's always tough, but I mean, I think it'd be a pretty sweet feeling to go in there and finally take one out of there.
Obviously, you want to win there last year in that championship game, but is there anything like that stood out to you, like, oh, I wish I would have done this differently, or we would have done this differently, or is it just like it's just how the game worked out?
I probably scored one more goal or something.
Obviously,
no, I know.
but
Yeah,
like,
I think I honestly felt like we had the right group last year. We had a really close team and just like a fun group of older guys. We gave it our best effort, but this year, I mean, watching what this team's been able to do, the new guys they've plugged in here, and even like the young talent. I don't know. I think the Tommies in my book are the favorite, just of what I've seen and the firepower they have. But you can't overlook Mankato. I mean, they got great goalie and a stud D back there. He's been there for a while, and they know how to win with that group.
Yep.
Those core groups of guys they've had there. But yeah, back to last year, I'd just say just finish it this year. I mean, they're making the next step here to the NCHC next year. It's kind of the last year to play for the Mason and to keep that rivalry going with the Mavericks. So it's a great opportunity to do something special.
Yeah, big in-state rivalry game this weekend. But without further ado, we'll get the boys here. And thank you guys for tuning in. Hey guys, want to take a quick break in the action. We want to talk to you about DraftKings, who, as you may know, is the official sports betting partner of the NHL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code XXX. That's code XXX to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets in which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. And now, back to the podcast. Welcome back to another episode of Pucks in Deep, episode 190. Joining me today is co-host Ryder, Donovan. Then we got a couple boys on the St. Thomas team too. Cole Miller, Charlie Schoen. Boys, how are we doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Doing good. Yeah.
This is we're in the locker room right now here at Liam Penny Anderson Arena. This is unbelievable. But what's the experience been like for you guys so far this year, just having this nice facility?
Yeah. No, it's been legit. Kind of doesn't feel real still. Waking up, walking to the rink, and getting ready in this locker room, all the facilities. It's legit, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a great experience, especially just kind of seeing where the guys before us had been, and we were just really excited to get in here and keep trying to build the program. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have definitely built the program a lot since you guys turned D1. Cole, you've been a part of that. Ryder, you've been a part of it. Talk about the difference though, going from the old rink to this. I mean, you guys could talk about it especially, but
Just from coming in 2 years ago when we were still at Stia, we call it the meat locker. Obviously, totally different feel and everything. So you've seen like the highest of highs here. This is like obviously a top tier, facility and setup now in the country. We had one of the lower level tiers of all of it, but like that was the cool part of like kind of coming into that. I was coming from a different program that I was used to the fancy stuff and the all the bells and whistles, but it was honestly like just cool to be a part of a group of guys that kind of had to grind it out more. Like, and we touched on that, like, you've seen both sides of it, and like that's a cool experience because you kind of had to rebuild that, and now you almost feel like some of these new guys are just like a little too comfortable, and they didn't have to go through the trenches of kind of freezing to death in the morning, getting in there.
We remind them just the Drake Arena to the STA, and the boys this year, STA wasn't their final destination. The last 2 years, you walk in, you got the hardwood seats, you're putting your clothes, your dry stalls underneath your stall. You don't have any dry stalls. You're driving 15 minutes to the rink, 15 minutes back. And it was a grind. It was long days. Yeah, long days, long mornings. It was fun. It really it grounded you. And then you come into here and you'll never forget STA, but this is better. Yeah.
How nice is it to have this rink just on campus?
It's unbelievable. Yeah. You feel like more of a part of the campus. Just when we were last year at STA, driving 15 to the rink and then driving 15 back, eating as fast as you possibly could, and then racing to class, and then like you never really felt a part of the campus. But now you're walking to the games, you're walking to practice, and then you can walk to the dining hall with the boys, and like just you feel a lot more part of the campus. More students are coming to the games, so yeah, it's unbelievable.
Try, let's get to your backstory. You're coming from ASU. Why did you choose St. Thomas? Obviously, this has to be part of that, but.
Yeah, just kind of going through the portal, I felt like with the schools that I talked to, I just felt like I trusted the coaching staff and had a chance to come do a visit here, and I fell in love with just the culture and what the guys wanted to build, and so that was really just the main reason why I wanted to come here. And being a Minnesota kid, it's nice being home, and I feel like I made the right choice. I don't have any regrets, and I've loved every second here. So.
Yeah, I know we were at opening night here and the place was packed and it was just electric in here, but speak to that and the atmosphere, and obviously you guys still working to build that fan base here, being a newer program, but what's that process been like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fun. I think that first game, that's something that none of us will ever forget, and just seeing all the students and all the, fans and old alumni that were happy just to see that moment happen. I think our goal now is just to keep building, and we're grateful for this arena, so we just want to make sure that we're living up to our standard and every single day.
100%. Cool.
Yeah, that home opener was unbelievable, right? Like it was sold out. The rally towels were going everywhere. The chant before the game, everyone's chanting Lee and Penny when they're doing the ceremonial puck drop. So it's kind of a blur now. But it was just so cool to see this place packed with students that on campus, and just a larger community coming to the games where you can fit more people and people care more. And building a fan base now, it's coming along, and that's just going to take time. But it's unbelievable.
Talk about your process, I guess, coming to St. Thomas and choosing here, and did you know the rink was going to be a thing when you chose here, and What was that process like?
Yeah, no, Coach Blasey and the rest of them, they recruited me when I was in Sioux Falls my first year, and I committed to the STA, the old rink, and they were talking about the rink coming in, but you never really know until you know. And freshman year, you got my second year in Sioux Falls, we got the massive gift and then the renderings of the new rink. So then you're like, okay, this is gonna be a thing. But then you don't know if like it's gonna get built in time. So I never really thought I was gonna be playing here until we stepped in those doors on day one, and it was like, well, yeah, we're here.
Absolutely.
I gotta say too, with I mean, I can allude to your point of like just feeling like you're part of the community. Like I came in as a grad student, obviously, but like other fifth years we lived with, like felt like I was playing juniors. It just didn't feel like you were a part of a school at all. So we go like set up shop at the Anderson Student Center just to see some locals or see who I actually was going to school with technically, or kind of scouted out from the coffee shop up there. So that was kind of what we had to go to those lengths of like feeling like you're a part of a team, because the only guys we really came in contact with was like on a Saturday after the game or just at the rink at STA with like our own team. So, I mean, you guys get the best of both worlds now, which is
and that's huge for building
awesome.
the program and a fan base. I mean, I'm sure you guys are getting recognized now on campus, especially, playing in the championship game this week. I'm sure students are coming up to you guys and saying something.
Yeah, no, a lot of students. I actually had a class on Monday where the smaller classes at St. Thomas, and the teacher like came to the game and then like announced the whole class that like we're going to the championship. So it's really cool. There's a lot of students saying good luck, we'll be there. So it's special.
Yeah, I've had the same experience this week too. Just a couple of professors giving us shout outs, and they said they're at the game this past weekend as well. So it's pretty cool just having, people that are so invested in what you're doing. And, it's been cool just to hear that and just know that people are appreciating kind of what we're working towards.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this weekend was a good crowd too versus Augustana. Obviously a huge game. They're sitting at 13th in MPI. You guys are at 16th now. You guys flop spots, but let's go into that game and just talk about, how you guys got that job done. I mean, first beating Lake State too in that series, but then the game this weekend. Just talk about that game.
Yeah, it's playoff hockey, and Coach Blasey really emphasizes our process and doing all the little things right and sticking to our game. And we got away from it a little bit in the stretch heading into playoffs, but I feel like against Lake State, we got back to our identity of just relentless compete and just being hard to play against. So Lake State, they're a good team. They're very skilled, and they had some weapons up front. And that was an absolute battle. And then Augustana going into that, just two really good hockey teams going at it. And then you feel like going 0-0 into the third, you just know it's a really tight game, and both teams are trying to do everything right. And then Gaffney scores the unbelievable face-off goal and then hunker down. And yeah.
100%. I mean, what was the experience like? I mean, you're going from playing, every conference is different. I mean, Charlie playing the NCHC, but you're going from a best of 3 series to a 1 gamer. And like, what adjustments had to be made in that kind of situation?
Yeah, no, the stakes rise, because your season could be over just like that. So there's no room. There's no second chances for mistakes. In the best of 3 series, you can have an off night and still have a chance. Now, in the 1 gamers, you have to be ready to go, and you have to be ready to play your best hockey for 60 minutes, or else you're going to regret all summer.
Helps to be at home ice too. I mean, towards the end of the season, you guys probably didn't have the end that you wanted to, but you did get home ice for the first 2 rounds at least, and that definitely helps. What was the difference though from that series that didn't go well here, a month ago to Saturday's game?
Yeah, kind of just we knew what mistakes we made, and we knew that we let them off the hook on that Friday night game where they ended up coming back to tie it, and we just, it wasn't going to happen again. We knew that and then home ice being all the fans. We had a pretty good student section on Saturday night, and that just raised everything. You wanted to win in front of your fans, so yeah.
Charlie, you were buzzing. You got to talk. I saw you were all over the ice. You were buzzing out there.
No, I feel like just with these 1 gamers especially, like I feel like our group, we kind of refocused, and we're all aware that, we can't leave anything on the table, like especially, single elimination now. So with the group we have, like you don't get many groups like this. Like it doesn't happen every year. So we're just really focused on just trying to do everything we can do to get the job done.
Ryder, I'm going to kick it to you right now. I mean, you were in that championship game last year. Obviously, didn't get the win, but this year the boys have a chance to get it done to make a first D1 NCAA tournament appearance.
Yeah.
But, talk about that experience last year in this kind of a game that they're preparing for right now.
Yeah, I mean, if I could suit up this week, I would do anything to get out there with them. It was just, it's crazy to think, like we said before this, like that was already a year ago. Obviously going out to Mankato, it's like a special place to play. One of my favorite places to play in the league. I felt like just like atmosphere wise, just got a bunch of fans in there that, you know, are drinking and it's loud and it's a hostile place and they always have a good team. Last year, I honestly felt like we had the group that could do it. Obviously, came a little short, but after watching these guys and just being around it, like I'm pretty confident with what you guys got going in this room, and just the culture. And I think like Mankato's kind of been there, and that's where I think there's a little animosity between St. Thomas and Mankato, that even the kind of the leap to the NCHC, like Mankato's been like the team in the CCAJ for a while now. But I think it just kind of speaks in itself of like the steps that this program has already taken in that window. And like last year was a big step to like get to that championship game. But like, I don't know, like I felt like for us, it was like, we didn't even want to hear like, oh, like congrats, we made it to the championship game. It was like, screw this. Like we want to win this game. We know we could, and we also want to go to the tournament. And that just didn't happen. And that wasn't the reality. But like now you guys literally can do that. Yeah. So I think that's just so like I said, I would love to play. I'm going to enjoy watching, but I mean, I know you guys are pumped, like confident as you guys should be. So
yeah, what's Rico saying in the room this week? Obviously, it's only Tuesday right now as we're recording this, but big game Friday night. You know, it's going to be sold out. You're used to playing there.
Yeah.
What are the keys to success for the boys?
Just sticking with our everyday process. Can't look too far ahead. A big part of our message in this locker room is just being in the moment. Don't look to the past. Don't look to the future. Just staying in it every single day, making sure our process is good. Like today, we had our usual typical Tuesday battle day, and then like we're gonna continue the week as a normal week, and Friday is just gonna be an absolute war with Mankato. It's rivalry game. Every game against Mankato is just a battle. So, pretty typical process. Just gearing up and making sure our details are right for the weekend.
Yeah, I feel like the message has been kind of the same as most of the season. I feel like, we've bought into the message that the coaches have presented to us, and, I don't feel like we need to necessarily change up anything. So, I really like how the coaches have been so far this week, like just keeping us calm and focused, and just making sure we'll be ready to go.
Yeah. You guys have had a great season so far. I do want to touch on the goalie tandem you guys got going. I mean, you have 3 guys that have a goals against average of .29 or lower. I mean, what's that like, especially in practice, just going against a stud every shot?
Yeah, I mean, in practice sometimes it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Make a lot of good saves on us, but no, it's definitely nice just having that tandem and knowing that like no matter what on any given night, like you can trust who's in the net. So that's something that in college hockey is really valuable too, and especially with us going on this little stretch here, we're gonna need everybody. So it's just nice knowing that you have both goalies.
I love it. What's one thing, I guess, the average fan want to know about your guys' program, your guys' team this season? You can take a second to think about that one, but I'm just trying to think of, you guys are a fairly newer program, and there's a lot of fans that don't know about St. Thomas yet. But, what's one thing that would stand out to an average fan maybe that they don't know?
I could help you a little bit.
Yeah, right. Jump in.
Well, just because me and Chucky were talking on Saturday, just like it's just always fun to hear like where guys played in different, like whether you're at ASU where it's just obviously like totally different campus lifestyle. Yeah, you're up in Grand Forks, but here it was like when I first got here, I wasn't used to everyone living in like a different house. But I feel like for you guys, the coolest part of like the culture is that like you have so many different houses that all have their own little kind of niches and like their own slogans. Kind of like you got the cabin, was the barracks, or you got a bunch of different ones, but everyone's in walking distance, and I think that's what's right. Like that helps with culture. Just like you got guys popping in all the time. You can go down the street and go to the shop, hang out with those guys. Like that's something that I feel like isn't like ASU or any of those other schools where.
Yeah, I can definitely speak to that. I would say that was one of the coolest things like for me coming here is like it's an open door policy at everyone's places, and like doesn't matter if you're in between classes or after practice, like guys are always just going to each other's places and hanging out, and I think that's what really builds a culture and like builds a family, and we really enjoy each other's company too. So we're hanging out every day stewing. So
yeah,
no, it's cool. What's it been like playing for Rico in first year?
I love it. he's tough, but like I love him because he cares about every player. Yeah. And that's something that like whenever he's bringing the message across, like even if it might not sound the way you want to hear, like he's doing it because he loves you. And I feel like he's definitely gotten every guy to buy in and believe in the message, and love playing for a coach like that.
Yeah. Oh, you cool?
Yeah, no, same here. he respects your effort, and I think that's something not a lot of coaches in my past experience have done. So, yeah, I love that. And then he, like, if you're willing to go to war for him, he'll do the same for you. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and from an outside perspective, I mean, he's got the words up here on the ceiling right now, but to see what he's built from the ground up right now to this place, it's pretty amazing. But you know, how much are you guys focused on the words up here on the ceiling right now?
Yeah, no, they're kind of just part of our document, and they really just pull into our everyday life. I mean, I'm staring at love and gratitude every single day when I sit down, and it just reminds you. It's just our faith and brother document, our team document that the senior class now, the believer class built. It just reminds you just to love every single day, be grateful for where you are right now, and remember the guys that came before you. So yeah, it all ties together.
Yeah, I mean, speaking on the grateful piece, like I've been fortunate enough to see a ton of programs in their facilities in the country. I mean, this is top notch. I mean, this is to develop as a player. I mean, Chuck, speak on it. Like the facility amenities you guys have here. Like, how does that help you just develop for the next level?
Yeah, I mean, this is about as close as you can get to a pro hockey rink, I feel like, without being in pro. And I feel like, you know, with all the training room we have, with the cold tubs, you know, the video room, shooting room, like this place has every single thing you could ever imagine that you would need to make it to the next level. And, you know, we're super grateful that St. Thomas has, you know, allowed us to have these resources to be able to use. And, you know, hopefully that'll help bring more recruits into and help build the program.
100%. Cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, Chucky pretty much covered it all, but there's everything you need is right here within a walking distance of. You have the tubs, you have the shooting room, the video room, unbelievable locker room, lounge with the boys, food room, like everything is just unbelievable. They didn't miss anything.
Yeah, they even got Ryder on the wall in the lounge. I mean, that's
Ryder's
impressive.
Ryder's on the wall.
Take that. Yeah. Academics too. Can't forget the academics. You guys getting a great
great piece of
education
paper. Yeah.
in the state of Minnesota. I think that. Yeah. I mean, we would talk about it all the time. Like just the recruiting piece of like, even when we were coming up in high school, it was like St. Thomas wasn't really like a destination yet, and so many kids. It's like, well, if you want to stay in state, it's like UMD, Minnesota, or Mankato if you really have to. But like, but like now at St. Thomas, just like if you're even a parent, you're looking at like the academic side and like the living and like just how it's such a sheltered, like nice, mostly safe, you know, community here in St. Paul. Like, it's just it's unreal.
7 minutes from the Wild game.
Yeah.
We're downtown.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like when you go downtown to Dinkytown, it feels like, okay, like we're downtown, but you're here, you're in a neighborhood, in a community with like parents and children running around. But then it's 7 minutes down Summit and you're at the Wild game. So it's pretty legit.
Yeah. No, I'd say pretty cool experience too. Just having everything around here that you could need. I mean, where I was last, it was a little bit different. So just coming here is really cool. Just kind of seeing the campus and, you know, all the stuff that they have available to us and to people around us. It's cool just to be able to do other things outside of hockey too. So they have a lot of stuff.
Yep. Obviously, I mean, you guys right now sitting at 14th in MPI. Was 13 after the game, then UMass won. But is that being talked about at all about in the room right now, or is it just you guys got to win? That's it.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. Honestly, it's just we knew going into these playoffs that we're gonna have to win the big game, the Mason Cup. So that we're kind of got caught up in that recent when we were kind of going through our lull, and we just said we're done talking about the MPI winter games that we have to win.
Sure. I guess let's just go over. I mean, you guys both have a few years under your belt right now, but talk about your favorite experiences so far in college hockey. What makes this game so special?
I would just say, with my experience last year in the playoffs and just seeing a team that was pretty close, I feel like, you know, with the group we have this year, like I really feel it, and I just say like, you know, these moments don't come around often, so we're really excited for the opportunity moving forward. But yeah, that's all I would really say on that. Just excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, college hockey is like the coolest thing ever, and you guys have done a great job expanding it and showing it to more people. But just being on a team, going to classes with the boys, visiting all these different rinks. I have a thing where every away rink we go to, I take a picture of from like the highest stand possible. And I just have like 30 pictures of like the Ralph, BG, Northern, all these random rinks. And it's just so cool how each school has their own like touch and like the way they do it. And I just think, college hockey is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think Friday night's going to be unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be electric. How do you prepare for that, knowing that that's the atmosphere you're going into. Their student section is going to be chirping you. Like, that's just part of the game, and it probably benefits you guys in a way. But
Yeah.
how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, no, it's just preparation the same as always, pretty much. Just, you're going into a battle. It's nothing we haven't really seen here before, especially like we went into it last year. And it's going to be, it's going to be rowdy. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. And you get really excited. So you try to calm down and just worry about practice tomorrow. But yeah, you get mentally prepared for a war.
Yeah, we played there a couple times this year too, and just kind of getting a taste of like what that crowd's like. I'm sure on Friday it'll be pretty crazy. So we're just gonna try to make sure that we don't let the noise, kind of get to us, and we're just gonna stay calm and just do our thing and play our game.
What would you have to say to the fans right now, St. Thomas fans that are supporting you guys?
What would we say to them?
Yeah, what would you say to the fans right now?
Come to the environment, come to the war zone, be loud, and cheer the boys on. Well, we hear you guys, so yeah.
Riz, any advice for the boys?
Yeah, well, for the figure out the carpools. Get down early. It's, like, I remember last year, a lot of people actually traveled down, which was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, Mankato's setup is pretty, like, they got the bars and stuff right there. So like,
It's only an hour away, too, from
funny.
there.
It's not nothing too bad. So, outside looking in, from my perspective, I'm just like, I know these guys so well. Like, I live with Millsy the last, feels like 2 years. You were there 1 year in our house, but basically 2. So you know what to expect. And everything they said is, you just take it one day at a time. It's a big moment, but it's only as big as you make it, like in a good way. You can't let it eat you up. And I think, last year's experience will only help. Shaner's played in plenty of big games. So many even of your freshmen have been big-time players for so long. So it's nothing, this is probably too low. It's nothing that you haven't been a part of before. And you have to look at it as, like, it's exciting. It's, it's like pressure is a privilege. And a big game like that, it's like that's what you play the whole year for. Like, it's not, there's plenty of guys who are done right now in March, or they were done at the end of February. And it's like, that's a long summer and a long spring. So you guys just keep it running. You can go.
Yeah.
Vegas,
As upperclassmen, what do you say to the freshmen right now to prepare them for this game?
My advice to any of the younger guys would just to be like, soak it in, but like, don't let the moment feel like it's too big. Because obviously we want to keep continuing to move on, and we can't let these big crowds or these hostile environments kind of let them get to our heads. So I just try to tell the guys, just stay calm and just play like it's another game, and just do everything you can do and leave nothing on the table.
Yeah, pretty much the same as Chuck. Just the childhood game that we all love, right? So we played in front of some pretty big crowds this year at the Ralph. Bowling Green has good crowds, and it's just another hockey game. So soak it in for a little bit, but then let's be ready to go.
Yeah. Obviously it's a CCHA, so it's gonna be a physical game, but you guys are extra physical. I feel like last weekend you guys came out flying. Is that part of the game plan this week? Obviously it's gonna just be a battle. They're physical too. So how do you prepare for that side of the things?
Like you said, it's the CCHA. It's gonna be a physical bout. I'm sure Biz can attest to this. Chucky knows about it now. So everything is so heightened with these one and done playoff games, and you just know it's gonna be. Every time you touch the puck, you're probably going to be hit, and every time they touch the puck, you should probably hit someone. So it's
You're probably hit someone.
It's the well said.
Well said. You guys right now are in a spot where I think a lot of kids, that are younger, are looking up to you guys right now. But what advice would you both have to give to those kids trying to get to Division I hockey or to St. Thomas one day?
I would just say, first is the most important thing. I think is just try to find the joy in hockey and just try to have fun. I feel like when you do that, then everything else just is a lot easier. It doesn't feel like work. But that's probably just the one I'd say to them the most. And then just from there, like, just, you're going to go through adversity, but never give up. Just keep trying to push through. And usually the guys that can get through adversity are the ones that end up making it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I like what Chuck said. It's a childhood game, right? Enjoy it, have fun. But my other piece of advice would just be work. You'll get more chances if you're given 100% of your effort 24/7. So, never stop working and enjoy the game that we all grew up loving.
Ryder, you can give advice.
No, I totally agree. I think one of the coolest parts of just the journey for everyone, me and Shana were pretty similar. Like, we grew up kind of rivals in high school, similar trajectory. Millsy he hates Minnesota high school and the whole thing. He would have loved it. He's jealous, but he grew up playing AAA in Ohio, goes to juniors at 18, whatever, play a couple years there. Like everyone's just on their own path. And I mean, even think about Walls, like his career path. It's like so many people wrote him off, you know, high school, whatever. He starts out in the NA3 and just climbs the ladder all the way up. Like you never know who you're going to pass. And like Chucky said, I think I love that. Like just finding love with the game and making it fun. Cause I think it's so easy. Even in high school, you could get like suffocated with like pressure or just a bad coach or whatever. Like you could just have it kill your joy for everything. So I think there's so many cool stories. Walls is just a great example of like literally just fighting your way through every rung. And then you get to this level and it's like, it's so worth it. Like any adversity you go through. So, I mean, I respect anyone that gets to the college level because I know it's not easy and everyone's got their own story. So I think that's what's cool even about like these two guys, just like totally two different routes that could all lead to a common goal on Friday. So
I mean,
cool.
You guys have all been through your own journey, like Ryder said, but like, did you ever think like, not only would you be in Division I locker room, but you'd be playing in a championship game again and a chance to go to the NCAA tournament? Like, is that, when you were younger, like 12, 13 years old, is that something you thought about?
No, you never really think about it. I was kind of a late bloomer. So, the dream was always to play college hockey. And then you realize how hard it is to actually play college hockey. And then, I was a late bloomer. So when I was like 14, I was like, I don't know. And then, luckily grew a little bit when I was like turned 18 and then said, okay, it's a reasonable goal. And then now just being here in this locker room, having the chance to play for a championship game, it's something I never would have thought about.
Yeah, I feel like just being as a Minnesota kid growing up, like definitely have thought about it, dreamt about it a little bit, but to actually be in this position now and knowing how hard it was to get here, I feel like that is super gratifying. And but yeah, it's not something that you just feel like you're just going to be in every day, in these situations. So you just got to make the most of them.
I love it. Ryder, you got anything for the boys before we send them off to Mankato?
Yeah, I just say, another cool part of just college in general is just like the representing your school part and like a community, and just like the rest of your spring, you're still going to class with all your classmates and everyone, like, and you might not think it, but a lot of people know who you are, and you're kind of a role model for everyone. And there's so many, like all my little brother's buddies go to school here, like they think Millsy's the man. They don't know that he's not, but they're like, they think so highly of like going to games now, and it's like such a cool experience even for the students and like locals, and you don't really appreciate that until you're out of it and you kind of look back and it's like that perspective, like it goes by so quick, but like you're representing everyone in this room, but then it's like there's a cooler lens of it of like, for like here it's like St. Paul, like former Tommies, alumni, guys like obviously with Rico, like they built this from the ground up. So it's such a cooler like community feel, and like those games they're already so meaningful, but like I feel like even once you go on to pro and you can be in some really good leagues and still like no one really cares that much, like even in the playoffs, or like you aren't going to have a group of guys that are actually that collective on pulling on the same rope. I feel like it gets even more selfish as you go up. So this is kind of as real as it gets. So yeah,
that's a really good
give
point.
him hell,
Well
boys.
said. Yeah, well said. Yeah, give him hell. No, boys, I appreciate you for joining us today, and best of luck to you guys.
Appreciate
the rest
it.
of the way. And,
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, man. It was a blast.
Yeah.